I know you are selling stock streets now, but you want to have your own spaza shop. What does that version of yourself look like? How do they show up in the world? How do they speak to people? What is their confidence looking like? Just take a moment to really imagine that person. And then can we start showing up as that person as if it has already happened? Because the truth is...
Good morning, everybody. Are you ready to monetize? You ready to monetize your business? I am so excited to be here with you today. And don't mind all these long things that Papa is telling you. I am an entrepreneur exactly like you. And I am so excited for our masterclass conversation because as entrepreneurs, we need some kitchen table talk. Ne? Have you ever had conversations in the kitchen with somebody that you trust that you cannot have outside? You cannot have that conversation with just anybody. This is the conversation you and I are going to have today. So turn to your neighbor and say, I'm ready to monetize my business. Excellent, great stuff. We're going to have a practical conversation. I'm going to go into the nitty-gritties. We're going to be honest with each other. We are not, flowering around things. This is the time, if you've got your own notebook, take it out. If you've got a notes app on your phone, take it out. If you want to take a video of what we are going to talk about, feel free. This is your time for us to talk as entrepreneurs, specifically as township entrepreneurs. How do we grow our business? How do we begin to get ourselves funding ready? Are we ready? If the Spirit moves you, and you're like, I'm Manheti, go deeper, I need to know a little bit more, raise your hand. Let the roaming mic come to you. Let's talk and have a conversation. This is between me and you. It's not just me to you. This is our conversation together. There are 8 important points that I want to share with you today. I want it to marinate into the depths of your esophagus. I need you to feel it. All right? And we are talking all about getting your business funding ready. Later on, we're going to have a great conversation with Gabelo, which is going to be a bit more technical in terms of what you need. But before we can have that conversation, I need to make sure that our mindset, our daily activities in our business is going to take us where we need to go. Are we together? Hi, Anginizwa. Are we together? Yes. Okay. We need some energy, man. Some, vava voom. If you're still feeling cold, there's tea and coffee at the back. Ngeli energy, man. All right. Let's look at point number 1. Point number 1. In order for us to even begin to think, to dream about getting our businesses funding ready, we must respect research. Research. As entrepreneurs, sithanda izinto. We love to jump into the deep end. Can we please take a minute to research? And there is a lot that we need to research on in order to grow our businesses. There are many different places that you can get funding and that you can look for funding. But you must first understand, what are these funders looking for? So that you can be able to put your ducks in a row to ensure that you have gotten the things that they are looking for ready. Gentlemen, when you spot a flower in the street, and you're like, "Ish, this lady, she's such a beautiful flower." What do you start to do? You start to research. You start to look, who are her friends? What are the activities she likes to do? So that by the time you even start to talk to her, you are saying things that you know is going to warm her up and get excited and interested to talk to you. Funding is the same thing. You must learn to share your investor. Yes. In the same way, sishela ngaphandle, we must be able to do so when it comes to our business. What are the attractive things that a funder is looking for in a business? There are some funders that are specifically funding certain industries. Textile industry, manufacturing industry, tech industry, fashion industry. But because we are not doing our research, we are throwing our business proposal everywhere, left, right, and center. And then we say, hey, Mara, these people don't respond. Abaphenduli. It's because you are spraying and hoping. The spray and hope method does not work. From today onwards, let's make a decision to take ourselves seriously. Research is very, very important, and it comes in different ways. Sometimes research comes through looking and observing. Some of you may have applied to pitch your business today, and you may not have made it to the finalists to pitch your business. This is an opportunity for you to research. How are other people introducing themselves? How are other people standing on the stage and their posture? How are other people shaking other people's hands? What is the way that they are communicating to others about what they do? How does it compare to how I am showing up? What can I do differently? Research. Point number 2 is effective communication. Effective communication. It is not good enough just to communicate. No, but no. Effective communication is the type of communication that you do that allows people to understand the message that you're trying to put across. Are you effectively communicating about your business? Are you effectively communicating what makes you unique? What makes you stand out from the crowd? Why should we care about you and your business? Effective communication allows you to stand out from the crowd because it means that you become memorable. And let me tell you something, this is not something you wake up with. Sometimes we must stand in front of the mirror and practice. Hi, my name is Hetty the Entrepreneur, and I am a monetization expert. Do you know how many times I've stood in front of the mirror and said that? How many times I've had to look at my own posture, my own voice projection? Do not look at people and just think, wow, they're so lucky. They just know how to talk. We don't. We don't. Let me tell you the truth, we don't. We practice. As entrepreneurs, we do not have the luxury to be shy about what we do. We need to develop a manner in which we can communicate what makes us incredible and why anybody should care about what we do and what business we are in. It doesn't matter if you're selling from the boot of your car, at a spaza shop, in a mall, it doesn't matter. Having the ability to communicate clearly and effectively is important. It does not mean you must change who you are, because authenticity and being genuine is very, very important. There's something about inauthenticity that people can just see, Njekutalo, that something just doesn't add up. Effective communication. So even when people now begin to ask you for things like your business plan, your business proposal, come in, tell us about your business, are you able to effectively communicate? And don't be scared. Call your neighbor, call your sister, call your friend and say, yo, I'm going to go and tell some people about my business. Can I practice with you? Give me your feedback. Tell me, where am I going wrong? What can I improve? Are we together? Yes. Now, once we have learned how to effectively communicate, and one of the things, maybe I should just mention this because I receive a lot of people saying, Hetty, how do I improve my public speaking? I feel shy. Maybe I've got some crutch words that I always use. How do I actually practice speaking better? There are platforms you can plug into. There are free courses you can plug into. Platforms like Toastmasters, please write it down. It's free, you can go. I use Toastmasters to this day to practice speaking. Public speaking is not about coming onto a stage and talking to people. The minute you walk out of your house and you speak to another human being that is not yourself, you are speaking in public. That is public speaking. Public speaking is when you walk into a lift and there's somebody else in the lift. Just being able to say, hi, how are you today? Oh, okay, what do you do? Oh, this is the business that I run. Let me give you my card. It's not easy for all of us to do that. So you can plug into your local Toastmasters. It's an international organization which will teach you how to hone the skill of being able to talk. We can all speak, but we cannot all talk in a manner that makes people want to buy into us. And as entrepreneurs, we must learn to invest in ourselves, not just financially, time. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take practice. Plug into Toastmasters, go there and let them help you to be able to overcome the elements of speaking in public that you need help with. Take it seriously. It doesn't matter where you are in your business. Don't say, I've just got a small spaza shop, it's fine. It's not fine. Because as an entrepreneur, you are important. You are important to us. And the growth of your business matters. The third point, after you've learned how to talk to people, we must now learn active listening. Active listening. Some of us, we are listening, but we're not hearing. Active listening. When we are building and growing our businesses are our baby. My business is my baby. And because we are building our businesses from scratch, we are very sensitive to feedback. We are very sensitive to criticism. But if we want to grow our businesses, we have to be open to feedback. We have to be open to criticism. Sometimes we have to be open to changing the game plan. And it's not nice. Because when we start, we've got a plan for the business, it's going to do A, B, C. Then all of a sudden, A is not Aing and B is not Bing. Then what? We need to be able to add more alphabets. We need to be able to pivot. So things are not always going to go the way that we have planned. Active listening means that we have to be open to feedback. When someone says, I would be interested in investing in your business, but I'm concerned about ABC. Let's go back and say, okay, what can I do about this? If you apply for something and you don't receive the positive response you expected, it's okay to ask for feedback so that you can improve yourself for the next time. Being open to constructive feedback is a sign of maturity on our part. Because what is important to you as a business owner may be different to what is important to a potential investor or funder. Somehow we need to meet each other halfway. So compromise might need to happen. Don't take it personally. It does not mean we don't like you. If we say change the packaging of your product, it doesn't mean you're not a nice person. Active listening is so important. The fourth point that is so important is confidence and self-awareness. Here is the truth of the matter. Particularly as township entrepreneurs, we need to learn how to build our confidence. As business owners, we are going through a lot. We are going through the most. There are challenges that come up that we did not foresee, and there are various elements that impact our business, even relating to things like our personal lives, etc. Sometimes you are building your business without necessarily having the support of friends and family. Maybe they wanted you to take a different path, and when you are taking the path that is less traveled. I need you to be a confidence builder within yourself. You need to affirm yourself as a business owner. I want you to start imagining where you see your business going in the future. What is that person looks like who is going to have 3 or 4 clothing shops? I know you're selling from your bedroom now, but in 10 years you want to have 3 clothing shops. What does that version of yourself look like? I know you are selling stock suites now, but you want to have your own spaza shop. What does that version of yourself look like? How do they show up in the world? How do they speak to people? What is their confidence looking like? Just take a moment to really imagine that person. And then can we start showing up as that person, as if it has already happened? Because the truth is, we are going to encounter challenges along the way. And we have to be able to build that confidence and resilience to be able to get through those challenges. Now, confidence does not mean arrogance. We can always balance confidence with humility and remain authentic and genuine to ourselves. But you have to have a level of confidence. You must be delulu to grow your business. You have to be delulu, guys. You have to be so delusional about how your business is going to grow that eventually it catches on and everybody else believes in it as much as you do. Are we together?
Yeah.
We're together, ne? Is anybody whose spirit is moved? Does anybody have any questions, anything to add? Feel free, because it is a two-way conversation. We've got the roaming mic. Feel free to raise your hand if you want to. These are important conversations for us to have, because before you can even apply for funding, you yourself must be ready. You yourself must be ready. The fifth thing that we want to look at is networking skills. Networking skills. Yes, we all know about exchanging telephone numbers, exchanging social media handles, email addresses, etc. I want us to now talk about the importance of nurturing relationships. Nurturing relationships. This is something that is going to give you an unfair advantage in life if you take this advice. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they will take somebody's details on Saturday at a workshop like this. Monday, they send them an email, "Hi, we met at this workshop. I know you do this and this. This is how I need you to help me." Let me tell you why that doesn't work. Relationships are like a bank account. I want you to think about a bank account. When you open a bank account, before you can withdraw money out of the bank account, you must first do what? Deposit. You cannot withdraw money from an empty bank account. Relationships are exactly the same way. You want somebody to collaborate with you. You want someone to partner with you. You want someone to mentor you. You want somebody to be within your ecosystem, whatever it is you may be looking for. You cannot make a withdrawal without putting in a deposit. Let us start to think long term about the relationships that we are looking to build. Relationships are not always transactional. Some relationships may take several months to build. Others may even take years to build. But we need to deposit into the relationship bank account. There are different ways to do that. You want to work with somebody, support them. Go to their events. Check in on them. Ask them how they're doing. Be genuinely interested and concerned about them. So that the day you may want to ask for a favor, they'll say, "You know what, I'm happy to help Matapelo because she is always assisting me. I'm happy to introduce Tabiso to this person because they are always there." The other thing that you need to know about relationships is never, ever, ever make the mistake of looking down on anybody. Never, ever, ever make the mistake of looking down on anybody, including yourself. Sometimes you want to talk to the CEO, but you are unfriendly to the tea lady. You did not greet the doorman. You spoke to the PA like they're just anybody. Meanwhile, these are the people that CEO interacts with every single day. Then one day the PA will just say, I didn't get a good vibe from that person. Well, no, you're not in the room at that time. You've closed the door that you were trying to open because you looked at people's title instead of seeing the human. In life, there are leaders without titles. There are influential people without titles. So in the same way, I want you to build your own confidence in yourself and your business. Do not ever look down on anybody. Part of your networking should be networking both with those who are in the nice upper echelons of society, but also the receptionist who welcomes you in. Because what people say about you when you are not in the room is part of what makes you funding and investor ready. There are people who have got opportunities in life simply because I like that guy. I like that lady. They're no longer just investing in your product or your service. They are actually investing in you because they are trusting that whatever you touch is going to amount to something. Are we together? This is so important. People often ask, what does it take to monetize? What does it take to make money in my business? It takes growth and development of you. The monetization is a byproduct of our growth. So those networking skills are very important. Today, make sure that you know who your neighbor is that you are sitting next to, that you exchange contact details with 2, 3, 4 people that you did not come here with. Maybe during lunchtime, go and sit next to someone you don't know and break bread with them. You never know what that can lead to. We are in a safe space, we are in the right environment, we've all come with the right energy. Nobody's gonna think you're weird. This is the best place to practice this. The 6th point is emotional resilience. Emotional resilience. Can we get the roaming mic, please? Guys, along this journey, we are going to experience disappointment. We are going to experience rejection. We are going to experience things that is going to require us to be emotionally resilient. Can we get disappointed? Can we have a bad day? Can we be down for a day or two? Of course. In fact, none of us are immune to that. There's no vaccine for that. All of us are going to experience it at some point in our journey, and in fact, several points. Find ways to be able to pour back into yourself through emotional resilience. Because you will apply for funding, you will speak to people, you will go to interviews, you will try, you'll enter different rooms. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What are you creating for yourself to just have a little bit of a soft landing as an entrepreneur? Because you do deserve that. All right, we've got a question over here. Please feel free to go for it.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just wanted to ask with regards to the topic point you spoke of before. So what advice would you give to someone who is more introverted in terms of developing that skill of networking and being able to cold approach people and start conversations? Like what resources would you recommend to that type of person to build up that skill and that confidence?
That's a brilliant question, thank you. So one thing that many people don't realize about me is that I am an introvert. I know, shock horror, right? But I am an introvert. Papa's an extrovert. He's the one who gathers friends and people flock to him. People don't flock to me. I am an introvert. But one of the things I learned is that if I'm going to grow my business and if I'm going to grow my personal brand, I should not try to be an extrovert. I need to rather prepare myself to put myself out there. So what does that mean? One of the things I often do is I set goals for myself. So if I'm going to a conference or a seminar or a workshop like this, Papa can collect 20 to 30 contact details and network with people. I'm not that girl, it could never be me. So do you know what I do? I set a goal for myself. Hetty, today I'm going to collect 3 telephone numbers and connect with 3 people. It's important that in life that we set ourselves up for success and not for failure. One of the ways we set ourselves up for failure is by comparing ourselves to extroverts and saying, oh, but this person has such an amazing personality and everybody is drawn to them. I therefore have to mimic them. As introverts, that drains us. So what you actually need to rather focus on is, what is your strong point? And lead with that. The other thing I would practice is practicing how to introduce myself. Practice it hundreds and hundreds of times. Then learn certain conversation starters and conversation fillers. Because when you are networking, you cannot assume that the next person already knows how to network. So sometimes you are the one who has to lead the conversation. So what are the 5 questions that you can ask another person as a conversation starter? So for example, oh, what type of work or business are you in? Oh, really? And where is that based? Oh, you're here in Alex. Okay, which part of Alex? So by having these certain questions pre-prepared, it reduces your level of anxiety because you are not thinking on the spot. You have already pre-programmed it in your head and you've practiced it in your head. Then, just from a likability perspective, if you read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, there are certain things that you can do to be able to build rapport with people. For example, remembering somebody's name. And as you are having the conversation, just slipping their name in the conversation, it helps you to humanize them. It helps you to have little anecdotes that you can throw into the conversation that makes it interesting. Oh, I see you're wearing a Manchester United shirt. Did you watch the game on Thursday? Boom, you found a point of connection. So often at times, it's important as introverts to take the pressure off ourselves, because that's the thing that often gets us overwhelmed, because we feel like there's a spotlight on ourselves. Take it off ourselves and rather redirect it to the next person. What I've learned about human nature is there's nobody who does not enjoy talking about themselves. Nobody. There's nobody who does not love the sound of their own name. Nobody. There is nobody who does not love talking about their children. There's nobody who doesn't enjoy talking about their pets. There's nobody who doesn't enjoy talking about their business. These are conversation points that you can begin to weave in. Then, as an introvert, be cognizant of your own energy levels. Because when you expend too much, you fizzle out and die out, your battery life. So you can network in the beginning, take some time aside for yourself, recharge your batteries, come back in. Because we are not trying to change ourselves, we are trying to use what already exists to empower ourselves to grow. Am I making sense? And if there are certain people you've identified before attending that you want to connect with, prioritize getting that out of the way so that at the end of the day you have a good sense of accomplishment, that wow, I did it. All right, does that help? Okay, great. Also, any other questions? Please do not be afraid to raise your hand. This is our time. It's kitchen table talk. Nobody needs to know our secrets, all right? Roaming mic, we do have a hand up on that side. Whilst the hand is going up on that side, the 7th point is adaptability. Adaptability. Adaptability basically speaks to our ability to adapt to changing circumstances. One of the things you're going to find, especially in entrepreneurship, is that what works in year 1 may no longer work in year 3. You may need to change the goalposts. You may need to change the plan. You may need to re-engineer your product offering. Maybe when you started, you were the only one offering something. Now the market is flooded with that thing. You need to be creative and think of other ways to be able to trailblaze within your industry. Adaptability is important. You might submit funding applications and they say to you, this product is great, but we're really looking for XYZ. Are you willing to explore XYZ? Are you willing to see if it is something you could add to your offering? Adaptability is so important. This is what the world is not going to tell you. We are the innovators of society. We are the innovators of society. We create trends. We create innovation. So do not be afraid to adapt and maybe change the plan when it is required. Your business is not something that you have to have it cast in stone. Don't see it as something that is hardwired. See it as clay that you can mold and change as and when necessary. All right. Please feel free to ask your question.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Oradile Mosase. So my question, I have two questions. My first question is that I would like to know, can you please repeat, is it the app or where we can find how to learn about public speaking? And then the other question is that I would like to know where can we find networking events like this one, because I think most of us are not aware of those network events, especially here in Township.
Yeah.
We know those ones which are very expensive, and then we want the ones which are relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Excellent question. So point number one, it's called Toastmasters. Toast as in toast yabaroto, toast. T-O-A-S-T, masters, M-A-S-T-E-R-S. It is an international network of public speakers, and they have got different divisions all over the world. Here in Alex, I'm sure there's even a Toastmasters, so they've got different ones everywhere. All you need to do is Google, go onto the website, put where your location is, and it will show you the closest Toastmasters around. You can go to any of their meetings free of charge, go and observe. In Toastmasters, these are the ways I want you as a township entrepreneur to use Toastmasters, because remember, everybody's going there for a different reason. One of the things you can do is, when you go there, you can do unprepared speeches. So unprepared speeches are going to help you with your confidence. They'll pick up a topic out of a box and you just start talking. Now, this is something you want to learn how to do, because there are going to be instances where you haven't prepared a pitch, but now all of a sudden you need to tell us about your business. They're going to give you feedback such as voice projection, eye contact, an counter. How many times you say because we don't realize our crutch words until somebody tells us. So those are some of the things that you're going to learn. When you've got a big speech coming up, if I know I'm going to be speaking to a big audience, or I am feeling intimidated, or whatever the case may be, I go and practice in Toastmasters. They give me critical feedback. I actively listen, I implement the feedback, and then I go and kill it. So that's what you want to do. And like I said, it's absolutely free of charge. Go with your friend if you are nervous. The next thing you want to do is, I often will search for free things that are happening on the internet that you can be able to plug into. This platform of Monetize Your Business in partnership with FNB is something that is incredibly valuable to us. If I were you sitting where you are sitting, what I would do is I would look and see where are the next workshops. Is there one that's maybe not too far away, just a taxi ride away? Every single workshop has literally got a different topic. Right now, we are live streaming on YouTube, and all of the future workshops are going to be live streaming on YouTube. So that means that even if you cannot physically attend the next workshops, you can tune in online or you can watch the replay and catch up. Become obsessed with getting information. And then you want to follow people online that are sources of information. There's certain people that are always speaking at different events or sharing different events. Follow those people so that you can see what is happening. But sometimes don't also go to different events like a headless chicken. What you want to do now, after this workshop, is to say, out of these 8 things that I got today, what are the 2 I'm going to focus on in the next 2 months? Once you've gotten that out of the park, what is the next 2? One event can last you 6 months of execution and action. So don't be a professional event attendee. Make sure that you also take the lessons and implement them. That is the most important thing. All right. I think we've got the roaming mic over there. Please feel free to ask your question.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
My name is Agnes Malachi. I am the Stakeholder Relations Manager at GalaxCOC. GalaxCOC stands for the Greater Alexandra Chamber of Commerce and Industries. It's a long-standing organization here in Alex, and it deals with Black-owned local small businesses, youth development, including women in business. By the way, we do not have the Toastmasters, so we would really appreciate if we can get access to collaborate and maybe have it on the ground, considering that we do have people in business, small business, also are not able to travel. But if the services are here on the ground, we do have facilitations, so if you can host.
Okay.
Another thing that I wanted to add on to the lady who says workshops, where do they attend in? So as a chamber, we do host workshops with different partnerships that we have. It's only just a matter of knowing when and how, and maybe also coming to the chamber, signing up, become a member so that you get the communique as to when it's happening and. I'd like to send out our gratitude to Monetize Your Business in partnership with FNB for this beautiful opportunity for our entrepreneurs. Thank you, because this is not just a talk show. Our businessmen and women are gonna walk out with knowledge and also with something to give them courage to push. Most of our entrepreneurs, and I appreciate the lady who has showed interest in wanting to attend workshops. Some of them, they're actually really now tired of attending workshops.
Yeah.
Because they find that it's a talk show.
Yeah.
They don't take out anything. You can bombast yourself with all the information. What does it do? And I appreciate the words that you just said now. Do not attend each and everything. Make sure that the one that you attend, you take out a thing or 2, then you implement and work and execute on that.
Absolutely.
Of course, the chamber is an NPC. We would also greatly like to form partnership with you guys so that it's easier to bring opportunities to people on the ground. We know their challenges. We know that it's people with small businesses who we do not expect them to leave their businesses because it's their livelihood.
Yeah.
So, but if opportunities are on the ground, it's within our position as an organization to hand them out. We can be on the ground where we actually go to business by business and assist the local entrepreneurs. So if maybe we can find synergies as to how we can maybe bring these opportunities closer, or we do get assistance from the government, but it's never enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and our entrepreneurs are the masters, are the holders of this economy.
Absolutely.
So if we can just work together and find synergies, collaborate, I'm sure would achieve a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you
I still
so
have more
much.
questions, but I'm coming.
Okay, no problem. So this is our last question for this segment. Don't worry, keep your questions. We're going to have an opportunity to continue with our engagement. Thank you so much. That was very well said, and we truly do appreciate that. I would love to network with you. I'm happy to put you in charge, in contact with Toastmasters. They can come onto the ground, and let's see what we can do to galvanize people in terms of their public speaking as well. I think it's very, very important when you are part of a community or an initiative, particularly to really make sure that you have got your FNB point of contact. In as much as we are here today, we have online resources that we are going to be sharing with you. We've got lots of knowledge, resources and information we're going to be sharing with you. Your FNB point of contact is the individual that remains on the ground with you. So when we talk about relationship building, do not leave here today without going to any of those stalls at the back and actually speaking to our local bankers and point of contact. They will be able to keep you in touch of activities or individuals that you should perhaps be engaging and talking to as well. Because remember, when we talk about how can we help you, we need you to be able to tell us so that we can be able to do so. So that networking is very important as well. So make sure that if you know you're part of an initiative, do not leave here today without making yourself known. All right, our 8th and final point before we wrap up this masterclass is time management. Honestly, as entrepreneurs, we don't even want to hear this. We are such free spirits and we are moved by passion. But the truth is we need to be able to balance our time between running our businesses, looking and seeking for funding, and also networking as well. So based on where you are in your business, the stage you are in your business, how we allocate our time is important. If you are still in the building blocks and you're spending 90% of your time networking instead of product development, your business is going to suffer. So just look at where are the important things you need to prioritize and then give the appropriate amount of time to the areas based on prioritization. Maybe you want to become funding ready by March next year. So before looking to spread your business plan left, right, and center, you give yourself between August and March next year to get all of your ducks in a row. So then your time allocation in your different activities will therefore be based on that. All right. So this brings us to the end of our masterclass, our kitchen table talk. I hope I haven't been too hard on you, but I really feel it's important for us to have these real conversations. I will be back a little bit later on where we have a fireside chat with Kabelo, where we get into the technical nitty-gritties. Please make sure that if you've enjoyed this masterclass, tag FNB in your social media stories so that we can repost as well as monetize your business as well. Thank you so much.